And then we see with the things that have been happening to him in the last few weeks, there hasn't been sufficient vetting of some of his cabinet appointments, and they've been kind of falling through the cracks. And, you know, I mean, he's a normal human being, puts his pants on one leg at a time, and there's a danger to pour all of our expectations and hopes into this one man.
Yeah.
And, you know, we need to be careful of those kind of things.
We did that with OJ, and look what happened.
Oh, don't. Oh, you
Well,
shame
let's take a second to look at our history. I have a short timeline. Okay, Martin Luther King is that person who the Black community looked up to. What do you think he would say if he could see where we are as a community today?
I think Dr. King would be both, he would acknowledge the perils as well as the prospects.
Yeah, absolutely.
He would see the progress, and the progress would warm his heart. It would be something envisioned that he articulated. However, when he would look back on the perils and would acknowledge a place where for every dollar a man makes, a woman makes 78 cents.
Yeah.
He would look at a Congress that is more white, more male, and more rich than the America that she represents.
Yes.
So in terms of representative democracy, we still have work to do.
Yeah.
We still have work to do. But however, there are some prospects that, you know, are promising.
Yeah.
But by the same token, there are also perils. I mean, we're almost at an 8% unemployment rate
Yes.
across the U.S. And of course, you know, if we're at an 8% unemployment rate across the U.S., you know what that means for some of our inner city communities that are particularly
Really low.
black and brown. That means that we're probably at 12%.
Yes.
So that speaks volumes.
And that's what I want to get into is education. It's the foundation for the American dream, and to overcome, we need to realize that the dream is ours too. And to continue to grow, we need to continue to aspire. What are your thoughts on that? Just as far as, I mean, I feel that it takes a village to raise a child. And I think a lot of times when we have superstars in our communities that go on, they kind of turn their backs. So I feel like we should always look to our communities to help our brothers and sisters.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, you've got an educator here. You know, I'm working on my degree, hoping to be a teacher as well. You know, and my focus would hopefully be to teach black art history, visual art history. You know, this man is teaching classes on race relations, and this man here is making films. So, you know, in our own way, we are all educators. You know, my father used to always tell me, wherever you go, you know, you represent not just yourself, not just your family, but the race. And I think all of us have always heard those things in our home. So we are always about educating the community at large, every single last one of us, about our potential, not just our history. And a lot of people know that. They have, you know, they've read and they've seen and they've been a part of. Some of them even have black friends, you know. And so, but we must always be about representing the best that we can be, and taking every opportunity that we can to correct people, you know, who might make assumptions that we label stereotypes about our people. And you know, we're always about the business of education, whether it's in a formal setting with a classroom with blackboards and a desk, or whether we're out and about in the street, especially in our homes with our children, which is really where it begins for me.
Okay. And so what else can we do as a community to grow? Do you think? I mean, anyone? Because to me, I mean, it's just inspiring. My niece is half black and half Filipino, but for her to know both sides of her culture is important to our family. So to inspire, what else can we get in the communities? What else can we do?
All that and more.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I think it's important that we recognize and realize that, you know, we are a part of the community. Even though we may not live in the community, we're still a part of the community, and that is very, very important. One of the things that, you know, I learned having grown up in South Central Los Angeles is that, you know, Once you've reached the age of 21, then of course you divide statistics in South Central Los Angeles.
Yes.
Right there.
And if you happen to live in a household that has a mother and father,
Yes,
of
that's
course.
just-
Yeah.
So having come from an interesting background as such, I became inspired. However, I was also tempered with that inspiration to understand something. You have a commitment to the community.
Yes.
You have a commitment to it's called altruism, the unselfish concern for the welfare of others.
Yes.
So that was something that has stuck with me and sticks with me, which is why I'm committed to volunteer work and
Yes.
through my fraternity and a couple of other organizations
Exactly.
in South Los Angeles. So I think that's important
Also,
for all of us.
Doctor, I feel like that commitment involved the church.
Oh, absolutely.
The church was an integral part of, of families back then, and we've gotten away from that. I don't know why and who started that, but I can remember when I was, from the time I was a little kid to the time I was a teenager, my grandmother made sure I was in church. Might not have a father that was present,
Right.
but I had a mother and a grandmother that stood by me and made sure that I did the things I needed to do in order to prepare myself, for where I am now.
Okay.
And so once we get back to that commitment, I think a lot of the things that seem negative as far as the community is concerned, it can be positive again.
Okay.
That's a
Well,
good
we're
point.
gonna go into final thoughts since we're winding down. It was fast. You already touched on what overcoming means to you, but what does it mean to you guys individually at home? And we can just go through. And
Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
wow.
Well, you go ahead.
Well, it's, to overcome, it means so many things. It's the things that we touched on about taking every opportunity that we can to teach. It's how we represent ourselves, how we carry ourselves, being proud of the things that have happened in the past, trying to rectify whatever we can, even if it's just in our homes, if it's on our block, if it's in our community at large.
Yes.
To be proud of our heritage as a people, to realize that it is diverse, is a wonderful thing to be a part of, and to celebrate that every
Yes.
single day of our lives.
I don't think we've necessarily overcome. I think we
constant.
got to start. And
Yes.
so we need to pick up and build and grow from there.
Yes. For me, it's just looking at our country and where it's been and understanding that change is good despite our history. The future, to me, being as young as I am, looks bright.
Right.
And I'm just excited to see what's to come. I really appreciate you singing.
Oh,
We
my
actually
pleasure.
have. Are you almost done with school?
Almost done. I've got to get through a math class. One math class, and it's driving me insane. So if I get through that one math class, then I'll get my bachelor's finally at 51 years old, and hopefully go on and get my PhD like this brother, and get into the colleges and start teaching Black art history.
Well,
That's
there
where
you
I'm
go.
headed.
So in closing, I would like to thank all you guys for coming.
Thank you for
And
inviting
I
us.
truly appreciate it, celebrating Black History Month with not just me, but our viewers. And thank you for watching On Point. I'm Kai Jones, and have a good time.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.